Yeah, pop. Oh, wait, out of a different window?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Okay.
That's all good.
Going live. Let's see.
Yeah.
If it works. Boom! Hello, welcome to another episode of What's Your Story? And obviously, as you guys can see, I am here with a very
Wait, out of a different window? Hold on, I ruined it. Okay, I ruined it last time.
What'd you do?
I'm just a noob. You know, I don't do YouTube like you guys.
Oh my god.
All you YouTubers.
You just dangle clacks a bunch.
Ruin everything. Dangle clacks.
The dangle clacks are real right now. We good?
Good? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Story. Of course, what does that say? Does it say I'm peed off on your coffee cup?
I'm teed off.
Oh, that's
the biggest mug I own.
That's huge. That's
it holds
the
like
size of your head. That's insane.
I have a big head.
I got the big head syndrome.
It's like Marfane. I'm like Rocky Dennis. Whoa. That's a joke for old people.
That's a joke for old people. Oh, welcome everybody. Welcome. I know. See, it's my show, so dangle clacks do happen. So, welcome. Of course, you can see right here that I have a very, very special guest right there. It's Vinny. He's a Vinny. He's Erik. Erik VinylandVapor. We know him from the Instagrams, and we know him from the deepest of cuts. The e-liquid line, which we all love. And so,
I feel like an Instagram dude. Just an Instagram dude.
No, you're not. You're more than Instagram. You're an advocate. You're a juice maker, liquid maker. Damn it, e-liquid maker, and I'm gonna fucking screw up on that shit so many times. I don't even care.
Look, just say what you want to say.
I try to correct myself whenever I do it, but it's like, whatever. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of What's Your Story? Obviously, you can see I'm joined by a very, very special guest, Mr. Erik VinylandVapor himself. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
What's your story?
I don't know. It's just full of dangle clacks and shenanigans, I guess.
I'm just here to make noise and dangle clack and make everyone feel weird.
Before we get into what we're actually going to talk about today, are you vaping on anything specific, or you just got the few things in your hand right now?
Oh, well, I always have a few things in my hand.
What do you got?
What I got a swell mod, Tony B's swell mod.
Did he give you that one at MVE or no?
He did.
Oh.
But I've been using it since, which has been like weeks and weeks and weeks.
I tried Brian's when he gave it to Brian, and the audio is a bit weird. What? God damn it. Fucking.
Is it me?
No, I don't know. I think everything should be good. I didn't move anything. I didn't change anything. Okay, I'm just gonna run it as it is. I think we should be okay. Hopefully. Actually, I'm gonna close my window because that might be hearing some reverb from outside the house. Okay. Fix that. Okay. So, you got the swell. I tried that thing off of Brian's setup at MVE, and I actually really enjoyed it. The tank is... there's some voodoo magic going on there, because he put a 6 of your liquid in there, and it literally was vaping like a 3. It was the weirdest thing ever.
That makes me upset.
No, I don't know if it was just your liquid, or if it was just the tank was just...
It might be the tank. I didn't really use the tank. I filled it up once and then threw it to the side. Just been using the mod. But I mean, Tony was like, really the star of the show is the mod.
Yeah. You have to. It's the main thing with that thing is the mod. The tank is just another subtle.
I've been using it for weeks. It's so light and so convenient, and a battery life. Well, I've been using it with this Lucy at like 55 watts.
Oh, isn't that the Vaporgate one?
Yeah.
Yeah. How is that thing?
I know it's controversial, apparently.
It's disposable.
But I kind of love it. In full disclosure.
For me, the way I think about it is you do how much driving? A shit ton throughout the week. So, let's just say you're driving and you have a coil head that shits out on you. A disposable tank is perfect for that. Because you can literally just take it out, screw it on, put your liquid in there, and wait a couple minutes, and then you're good to go.
And you don't really have to, like, necessarily throw it out. You can always, like, melt it down and make, like, a candy dish. Melt out all the plastic.
Candy dish out of old disposable tanks.
And then put the butterscotch in there, and
that could be that could be your new coil head holder, where you can where you just I got a coil head, put it on there, good to go. So what else you got going?
What else do I have? And I have a Squid V3 with a TM24 Pro, and
I didn't realize how matchy that thing is.
It's so.
It literally didn't look like there was a seam on there.
So dangerous looking.
Wait, that's the TM24 Pro?
Yeah, but it has the Eclipse cap.
Which Eclipse cap is that?
Black one. There's a black. There's a Delrin, and there's.
Oh, I have the Delrin ones. That's why I have the clear Eclipse cap. And
clear one too. So I have a clear one, and I have the snotty one. I have all three.
The snotty one.
The snotty one, and that's peanut butter in there.
A baby potty.
In the Lucy, I have some Rogue Tricks mix.
I've been hearing about Rogue. I gotta get there.
The cereal is really good.
Because I know Swaggins has the Wake and Bake, which I want to try.
I have the whole line.
Pretty good.
Steven gave it to me, and I like a good cereal, and the cereal's spot on. So
it's hard to find a good cereal because I feel like that you're either going to be tasting like, I don't know, if it's something that's not done right, you get like a chemical-y taste to it.
6 years ago, they were everywhere. Oh, you get the bad lemon. There's too much lemon, and you get like bad lemon, which is also
a common thing.
My Blind Melon cover band.
Bad lemon.
And then I have an Orion Q with a PV Party and 12 milligram.
Do you have the mesh coil? Because the other is like 2 coils there.
I think it's a mesh coil. But I picked up the PV Party yesterday in the 12, which I didn't have. I did the crawler and the Dragon Shake, and then.
So you have all three of them.
Yeah, no, I waited to do the peanut butter, and I should have just done them all at once. And then people were asking about the peanut butter, so I picked up a shit ton yesterday, and it's good.
Well, it's crazy because when you have to go to when you have to go drive and pick it up, don't you have to drive like 2 hours to go get it?
It's like 2.5, 3 hours.
And how often do you do that?
What?
How often do you make that trip?
They could ship it. I just like to go. I don't mind driving. Like, did I see you at Oklahoma City last year?
I wasn't at OKC last year, no.
I drove to OKC from New York. That was like a 24-hour drive.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like
I don't mind driving. So I go there.
Was probably to Independent Vapor Company with Dan and all them when the Canadians came down and all that stuff too. So that's like 5 hours.
I like to do solo flights. So I did Oklahoma City from Oklahoma City back in 24 hours straight, no sleep.
I did that when we went to Showcase in Houston, where it was Thursday night, so I was hanging out with the ladies of That's What She Said after the show, and then I was hanging out with Swags and Nick because Nick went over to Swag's house because they were going to fly together since he's closer to Logan in Boston, so we were hanging out with them, and I realized that, okay, we all got off at like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, I have to leave for the airport at 4:30, so I'm not even going to go to sleep, so I didn't get, I had maybe 2.5 hours of sleep fully when I fell asleep on the plane a little bit, and I didn't fall asleep till
that's when
3 in the morning the next day.
Is that when the phone went missing?
No, that was an NVE trip. I didn't fly. That's when I flew to Logan. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For NVE, yeah. If anybody in Boston area who has an iPhone that has a Tenacious TX pop socket on it, you're welcome. that phone kind of started to take a shit on me. So have fun with a semi-working phone. I got a better one now. So.
Well, you were due for an upgrade anyway.
Yeah.
You know what has an iPhone 3
No,
that they
it wasn't
found?
a 3. It was when did they start doing the. I thought it was like a 6 or something. I don't know. 6 or 7. I think it might have been the 7 Plus. So I upgraded to the 10 Max. So it's all better now.
I mean, I think what else? That's what else I have. When I pick up one of these Caliburns,
How do you like the Caliburn?
I was surprised. Everyone's been raving about it. The flavor's really good.
Yeah. How are the coil heads on it? Are you still on your first one?
Yeah, it's like 2 days old.
Oh, okay, so.
But I was impressed with the flavor. I don't know how it'll hold up. I haven't
I've
used
heard
one.
great things about the flavor of it. So.
So good. So good.
Is that all you got?
I think that's it. Yeah, the Orion.
Awesome.
I'm on the road. I'm upstairs. I'm not in the basement, so I didn't. If I was at my desk, I'd have everything. I'd be like, and then there's this, and then this, and then this.
Yeah, I got a few things going. Let's see, I got the Lazy Vapor, the Flav 24.
My dude.
And then with my buddy's vanilla bourbon custard in there.
What is it?
It's a vanilla bourbon custard.
Ooh, I love custards.
And then I got White Dreamer with the Bloody Mess. And inside of there, I got some Supreme Sours, the Sour Rainbow. It's like a handful of Skittles in your mouth, pretty much. And then I got my Evo Cyclone Mods with the gear.
It's pretty, fancy stuff.
Yeah, somewhat. With that, I got some Transistors Nazo.
Okay.
And then the last one, it's always my prize setup. It's always it's always going to be my rotation. I feel like because it's everywhere with me. I got my Monarch from After Modco.
What's yours name?
Tormund.
That's right.
With the recoil level on top, and inside of there, I just cracked open this bottle from the juice drawer. I got a very old bottle of fried Oreo.
Whoa, that's a blast from the past.
Look at that. It's oh.
Dang,
It's dark, but it tastes amazing.
I bet it does. Like those desk drawer suits.
I was a really big fan of fried stuff, so it was like the first liquid I had from them was the fried watermelon. It was so weird, but I liked it.
I remember that. I don't think I ever had it.
Because it wasn't like a candied watermelon. It was more of like the fresh watermelon, but then you got the deep fried of it at the end. You're like, I'm not sure if these two are supposed to go together, but I'm okay with it. It's just some of the weirdest. It's probably one of the weirdest liquids I've ever tried, but it's not. I'm not saying it was bad. It was just so different. I've never had anything like it. Do I have anything else? I don't think I have anything else going. Well, yeah, I have this. I have my Sigelli 213, old school right here.
It never dies.
And no, it never does. This is to me, this is the last good thing Sigelli came out with.
I can't. I mean, I still have my 150.
Mm-hmm.
You put 2 batteries in there, and it starts up. It's like it must be 5-6 years old.
Like I remember when the 213 came out, everybody raved about it because it was like, I think it was probably the classiest thing they ever came out with the carbon fiber sticker crap they put on there. But it just looked clean. It felt comfortable. It worked great. And inside, well, on top of there, I got the Wasp Nano RTA with Uncle Chris's peanut butter custard. Overdrip himself.
I'm coming for Uncle Chris. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got. Yeah.
I'm coming for that peanut butter.
Yeah, I think he changed it since he changed the recipe a little bit since I got my bottle, but I want to try the new recipe he came out with it. So, since I think he switched flavorings from manufacturer, so kind of course when you switch a manufacturer for flavoring, the juice is going to be completely different.
Well, not if you have your own recipes and stay on top of it.
Yeah. He's been working on his recipes. I like what he does. His liquids are great for being somebody who's trying to get his name out there, for trying to become a manufacturer of his own stuff. I look forward to the stuff he does. So hopefully you people up in Canada, if anybody's up there, hopefully within the next by the end of the year, maybe within a year, he might have something out there. Keep my fingers crossed.
Is he up there?
He has connections. He's talking to people.
But he's in Canada?
Yeah. He's like I want to say maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours from Ontario, like north.
Okay.
I think like northeast. No, yeah, no, northwest a little bit. I think. Yeah, I know he lives out in like the middle of nowhere, Canada.
Okay. Canada's big.
Yeah. And now, actually, I think right now he's on a 17-hour like drive back from Prince Edward Island. So he's probably still on the road as we speak. Because he left at like 3 o'clock this morning, and he said he still had like 8 hours left at like, what was it, 7, 8:30.
So road life.
Yeah.
I'm about it. I'm into it.
Like, it's probably a great drive, I think, because driving through Canada is probably beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I drove from Montreal to, I think, as far west, like, I don't remember, but it was like half the distance across. And it's super, super, super pretty. People don't think about it. They just think like Canada is snow and Toronto.
Yeah, it's just
but it's a beautiful country. So that was wearing my Red Zeppelin shirt.
Hell yeah, the Bread Zeppelin. Look at that. That is awesome.
Get down with the Bread Zeppelin.
I remember. It's still freaking. When we took that picture at MV in Connecticut, and then you commented, I was like, "What the hell?" There's just because there were loaves of bread in front of us in the picture. I'm like, "What the hell? You guys just get together to bake?"
No, there was like no. It was the sweetest thing ever. It was a great picture. You know what I mean? And nobody would have noticed that in the front. Like I just noticed it. I'm like, did they bring bread? Because it was in like Ziploc bags from home. You know what I mean? So like a group of dudes, you know, laid out on the table. Who brought the keg? They'd be like, you know, red Solo cups and empty bottles of bread. Yeah, like these guys are so sweet and mild. And they have their own baked bread. I didn't realize it was Gathering Vapors. It's Mrs. Gathering Vapor. She baked all that, right?
Yeah, Amy.
Yeah, it was great.
She made all of it. Huge shout out to the Gathering Vapor. I missed them both. I haven't seen them and talked to them that much since MV. I know because they're crazy busy with mods and all that. So
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so happy for what's going on with them because they deserve it. And I know he's starting to come out with like, he's coming with like a 3D printed line of mods, so I'm excited for that. So why don't we get in a little bit to why you're here? But before we do that, I think we wanted to. There's a couple of people hanging out in chat, so I think for the people that decide to come in for the start of the show, I think we should do something for the chat right now. So
let's do something for them.
So me and Eric were talking earlier. Tonight we're going to honor you guys with 2 giveaways tonight because we love all you so much. And Eric's such an amazing person to where he's willing to give his liquid away to people. So right now, I want to see some X1s in chat. X1, just X1. All you need to do. Which one do you want to do first? Do you want to do the high Nick or you want to do... I think we should leave the regular... Let's do the high Nick first.
The high Nick? Not everybody wants the high Nick, so maybe someone will get one X1.
Yeah, so we're be giving away the entire Deep Cuts line in was it 12 milligram? I think, yeah, 12.
We can do 12 or 18. Whoever gets it, they with the two.
X1 in chat right now. Whatever you want. If you win, you get to choose between the entire Deep Cuts line in 12 milligram or 18 milligram. So while that's rolling through, why don't we kind of get into why you're here a little bit? Of course,
why am I here? You never told me. You just said show up, and I was like, what am I going to do?
This show is pretty much, I do the show to where I get people on and kind of get them to tell their vaping story a little bit, how they got introduced to vaping, and like kind of bring into a little bit of their smoking backstory too, because of course it's a big part of how they got into vaping as well.
Right.
So my first question to you, sir, is how old were you when you started smoking cigarettes?
I was probably 14 when I first tried it, and then I started smoking, you know, like buying my own packs, walking to the, I'm older than everybody, like walking on my lunch break, I'd walk down to the local deli and buy them out of the machine. So I was probably about 16.
How'd you get introduced to cigarettes? Like, did your parents smoke?
And my biological father, I was raised by my stepdad, but he was a smoker. I would visit him a couple of times a year. He smoked, and he actually passed away because of smoking in 2016. And I've made some content about that with him, you know, when he was sick.
Yeah.
So my mother quit smoking before I could remember. So she wasn't a smoker. It was a teenage thing. It was like I wasn't around it. Most of my family had quit smoking, all my aunts and uncles and stuff. And friends, I had a group of friends that were a little older. I wanted to like fit in. They were smoking. I started smoking. Then I got a job working at a Pizza Hut as a busboy, and they used to be able to smoke in the kitchen, and they had a smoking section in the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, I remember those days. Ooh.
Yeah.
When there were smoking sections of just any restaurant you went into, there was a smoking section. It's like, it was crazy because like 3/4 of the restaurant would be no smoking, then you get that 1/4. And it's like, there's no doors separating the thing, but it's crazy how you like that opening, you just see the divided of just normal and just haze.
Well, I mean, I remember in the Pizza Hut that I worked at, it was just one. There was like it was a row of booths, and this booth was non-smoking, and this booth was smoking, and it was like 2 booths in. Like eventually, there was some kind of like legislation in New York where they had to build separate rooms in restaurants, like a smoking room, which was like an enclosed glass case for people to kind of like share emphysema. So all these restaurants ended up installing these, must have been $100,000-$200,000 enclosures into their establishments. Then they outlawed it altogether. 5 years.
Like, by the time they spent the money on ventilation systems and all that craziness,
and they're like, no. But yeah, I smoked for only 21, 22 years.
Okay, so you just started smoking cigarettes because it was just you saw your friends doing it and you wanted to fit in, kind of thing, where it's like you saw it was a popular thing with your group of friends, so you kind of just wanted to stay with.
Oh, I feel like that's probably like
it's a common thing though, because he's like a big like stereotype of smokers back in, like, I would say I'm not from the 80s, so I'm not from that era. I'm a 90s kid, but growing up, you always see during like the movies and stuff where high schoolers would start smoking underneath the bleachers of the stadium. Underneath the bleachers, you get the greasers with the cigarettes and everything. That's where the people used to, like, during their lunches or anything, or their free period, they used to go out by the bleachers and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, and I was saying that earlier. I was at my friend's place having lunch, and we were talking about the high school stuff. And, like, I think Tony B posted something this week how he had a smoking pass. He was like in high school in the 80s. He's a little older than I am.
I think so, where you actually took the smoking pass, you were able to go outside and smoke.
Yeah. But I remember being in summer school for math, and I was like a junior or senior in high school, and just standing outside the door with like a group of people smoking. Like, they didn't give a shit. Like, we just smoked. Everyone smoked. But then I went in.
I know when I did it, I had like, I was a vigilante student, I guess you could say, where I would, like, the last 2 periods I would skip and just go home and like walk home because it was within walking distance of my house. So when I was walking home, I used to hide cigarettes in my backpack and everything, so I used to take the cigarettes out of my backpack and then smoke them while I'm walking home. I'd take like side streets so no cops would see me on the main roads.
Yeah.
Trying to be a rebel and all that shit, yeah.
The things I would do to hide smoking, I now that I haven't smoked, I started vaping, it's been about 6 years. When I smell it, like, remember you think you were able to hide it, like, as a teenager, like, where you would like go outside and then like rub your hands on a leaf or something and be like,
no, I would go outside thinking that, okay, it's windy, they're not gonna smell it on me. But then you walk into the damn house and you realize you smell like a damn ashtray.
I get my landlord, she lives upstairs from me, and I've given her every fucking device. She's like one of my holdouts. Like, I've converted a lot of people and got them all cigarettes, and I'll just keep going back with new devices. And eventually it worked. I can't get it, but I smell it coming upstairs and walking by the door, and I'm like,
she's one person you just can't seem to like. She's tried it though.
Yeah, I brought her maybe 4 or 5, 6 over the couple of years I've been living here. Different devices, but she's kind of like, she watches like local news and they do all the hit pieces on vaping, and then like it crackles, and because of the cotton or something, and she thinks it's going to explode. She's a little, old school.
Is she like older, would you say?
Yeah. Might be a little younger than my mother,
okay,
but she's older. And she's like an old queen. She's set in her ways. She reminds me of my grandfather. But
you say she reminds you of a grandfather?
Reminds me of my grandfather.
All right. All right.
Like, they had the same demeanor. My grandfather was Sicilian. He was like a hard head. He was like a real mule.
Yeah.
Like super stubborn. And had this kind of, and she was like the same person. So like, I have an affinity for her. I like her a lot.
That's fine.
Kind of like
Because you've been around that for so long, so it's like,
yeah,
it's like you're going from, it's like a continuous cycle of like, okay, I've been around this. It's like going to the same person.
of course.
Very much so.
That's when I started smoking.
Okay.
And I smoked for, like I said, 21 years.
Yeah, sheesh. So how did you get introduced to vaping? Like, what was your first introduction of it? Was it like you saw it one time and then you really didn't get into it right away, or how did it happen?
It was an evolution, and I feel like this is like I get kind of nostalgic, and this was like my issue with like salt nic and doing the high free, natural nic instead of the salt nic. It was an evolution. I got sober also 6 years ago because I was a pretty heavy alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And after I got sober, I needed to like refocus my energy into something, so I got super active. Like I was like, I'm gonna run and cycle and do all this stuff. So after I quit drinking, maybe about 6 months, I was like running 6-7 miles, and then I'd stop and I'd like take a Camel and light it. Can they hear you? I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I opened my audio settings, so I was like,
Right.
wait, crap, they're gonna be able to see that. Close it. Like, whatever. I just got to be really close to the mic now, so whatever.
Wait, but am I super loud? Like too loud?
No, it's just you're not super loud. It's just your normal sound. But I always have the issue of my mic sounding quiet because I think I need to upgrade mics soon because this thing's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot more finickier than the ones like James and Swaggins has where they have the Yeti mic, and this is just the Snowball where it's just one setting and you plug it in and that's what you got. But with that one, you get to like kind of mess with how loud you are and stuff. So I think I might need to upgrade soon.
I have the one that's in the laptop, so that's working for me.
Yeah, whatever works for you. So yeah,
So I quit drinking. I got really active, and I was running and swimming, and I was like training for a triathlon, but I was still smoking. And I had been introduced to, like, when I was smoking, my mother was like, "Oh, look at these things." She would send me like a blue, or there was like these weird kits that she got from China, and I would never really
likes and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that was the initial thing. Like, after a run, I'd run 7 miles, and then I'd light a cigarette and smoke for the rest of the day. So I couldn't quit, and then I think I went into like a 7-Eleven or something, picked up like a cigarette, and it worked. Kind of, but I was dual using. It didn't really work right away.
How long did you dual use for?
A couple of months.
It was just because after everybody I asked that question to, like, everyone has pretty much the same. A lot of people were dual users for a long time. It's just because it's such a hard thing to like break, because it's not only the addictive factor of the cigarette itself with all the different chemicals that are in there that are more addictive than the actual nicotine in there themselves, but it's the doing it, just the actual like taking a cigarette up to your face and like doing the whole drag thing. It becomes like a routine to you. It's crazy how much people get into like a routine, because like with my mom, she used to get in the habit to where there would be times in the middle of the night she'd wake up and smoke a cigarette. Like there'd be like everybody's in bed, and because my mom smoked for probably 25 years, almost 30 years before she got coronary artery disease, which praises to her because she was able to quit cold turkey, which I don't think anybody would be able to. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I give her props for doing that, because she kind of had the mentality. It's like, I didn't quit for me, I quit for my kids.
I think what happens is, a lot of times people don't quit because they decide to quit and can't quit right away. Unless there's like a health scare or something, I think it's easier for people to quit cold turkey because, for all intents and I liked smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it.
That's how my brother was.
So,
he likes
the
taste of tobacco.
And and it's hard to walk away from it. There's no like, visible or tangible harm already done. Like, you'll just keep smoking until they feel that you've done damage. So the Cigalikes. So I was dual using because I didn't. No, I was going through I was using Logics and going through a pack of those a day, like the filters, and then I just wandered into a vape shop and I looked around and I got a setup that worked for me. And that's why, like I said, when converting people, I'll just keep going back with stuff until I find something that gets them to quit completely. So until I went to the vape shop and picked up I don't remember, it was an Aero tank and a stick mod with a 24 milligram. I'd say that was probably when I stopped dual using. And then my compulsive nature, I just got into it right away. It was then I was back to vape shops. What's this? What's a sub tank? Put this on me.
Once you start getting introduced to it, you're like, okay, I want new stuff. And you go into a vape shop and you're like, oh my God, toys.
Yeah, and then I got excited. And then I was full. And then within 6 months, I'm on Chinese websites, ordering clones and trying to figure
out Fast Tech and just ordering everything that you see in front of you.
Yeah. I'm waiting 8 months for it to come.
Yeah, right. Unless you get the e-packet, which narrows it down to 6 months.
Well, but yeah, so it was an evolution. So it was back and forth with that stuff. It was, I wasn't smoking at home anymore. I was using but then I go to work and smoke, and then I go back home and use the Cigalikes. And then I was then when I quit, when I got to a device that did the job, then I become then I was an evangelist. I'm this works. You need to try this, and then the rest is history. It was just I was all in.
So I asked this to everybody, what was that setup to where you were dual using for a while? What was that one setup that got you to stop dual using? Where it's that was the one setup to where it's I don't need a cigarette anymore. I got this, and I'm good.
I'd say it was an Aero tank on a spinner, either that or it was the first Kanger sub tank on an iStick.
So old fashioned.
So the E-Leaf. I think the sub tank with the iStick, I was doing the the cartomizers and stuff with 18 and 24. Mm-hmm. But then you're weaning off of the nicotine. Yeah. Then you're kind of I don't need this much nicotine, and I enjoyed the flavor, mm-hmm. and I was getting the same satisfaction that I was getting, with the hand to mouth kind of compulsion and so I'd say probably, and then once I got the sub tank and the iStick, I don't think I ever picked up another cigarette.
That's awesome. So what was the flavor? So what was the flavor that you got originally? That was because I see you posted your. I don't know if you see right there, but right there. Boom.
Yeah, I quit with
And yours is filled the fuck up. Yours is there's no empty space left on that picture.
Well, the thing is, I got. It was a new. I tried everything, you know what I mean, and I can't identify one. I remember going back and getting remember you used to have all the tasting stations with the rubber tips, and I would stand there for 2 hours trying everything.
When they just have the juice bar and everything.
I remember some tobacco juices early on, 24 milligram straight tobacco juices, and then were liquids. Sorry. Sorry. And then, I was all over the place. I mean, the I quit with thing is kind of it doesn't, I quit, you may quit with one, but I change it so it says I stayed off tobacco with, you jump around and try new things.
Because when you get so deep into this, it's there's so many different flavors that you enjoy. And it's you can't just pick one that you say, this will keep me with it. It's crazy.
But yeah, the sub tank and the iStick.
What was the liquid you were using the most out of that? The sub tank, would you say? The flavor, most specifically.
Well, I'm a dessert. I like desserts.
Uh-huh.
But I have flavor ADD, so I'd get like halfway through a 30 mil and then go get something else or something else. I kind of like have. Then there's like nostalgia flavors. I remember there was like a 5 pawns which I like saved up for, because remember like they were like 30 mils and you had to pay like $47 for like 5 pawns.
To be honest, I think it might still be the same price. To be honest,
it was like on the top shelf, and I'm like, what's that? I'll come back.
It's like its own little box where it's like there's a string wrapped around the top. It's like it's like going to a bar and buying the top shelf bourbon, you know.
I'll have the Johnny Blue, thanks.
I'll have the blue label, please.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I feel like it's been so long, and a lot of the companies, although I see a lot of them coming back, ones that weren't around for years, but I remember the 5 pawns. But I would go through I would do like Space Jam and whatever was around, and try everything, and then that evolved quickly into start like within 3 months of like getting the sub tank and the eye stick. I was just like ordering concentrates and nicotine and like drilling holes in my in my sub tanks, trying to get like the juice flow more open, and then that's how I met Toonie. That's how I met Dale. That was like 2015. In 2015, I started the Vinyl and Vapor Instagram page. And I was like, I'm going to take pictures of this stuff, and I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I didn't realize how, like, then I saw it, and I was like, holy shit, this is, like
people got heavy into it.
Yeah. And I was like, look at these are my records, and these are the vape things. How cool. And I think I posted something about, like, there was the RBA section in the Kanger, in the sub-tank in the first one. And I remember the barrel for that, like, it wasn't getting enough juice flow, and I, like, drilled through it and posted something, and then Toonie got in touch with me, and that was my first piece of vape mail was from him. He sent me like his modded K funds and a.
When you know you've gotten somewhere where like you're respected in this, you get vape mail from Toonie, because the Toonie K fund's like something you always keep in your collection, because there's nothing more special than a Toonie K fund out there, because he works magic on those things. I don't know what he does, but
I don't think I even never changed the coil. It was like I still have it. And I think I've left the same coil in there. Like, I cleaned it, and I'm like, this is Toonie's coil. I'm not going to touch it.
Nope, this is made for this. I'm not doing anything to it.
But he sent me that, and there was a tank called the E-Leaf Mellow, which was also like a RTA, which he modded. And I had mentioned that I was using one myself, and he sent me a modded one and a couple of his flavors. And I was like, what's this? You can get these things in the mail? It was great. Right. It was a good movie.
Changed your kind of outlook on, I can do this. So I don't know if Toonie's in chat. I haven't seen him post his links, but Toonie, we love you. You're always a respected person in this community. So keep doing what you're doing, my friend. And I realize there's only been a little bit of people doing X1s. I know there's 11 people watching right now, but 4X1, we can have a lot more people in here who have the opportunity to get some liquid in their hands. So if you haven't put an X1 yet, you should.
Those are the high neck people.
Come on. You know, a lot of people here use your pod systems. Come on. So in a few minutes, I will be selecting the winner for the high nick full line of the deep cuts. So if have you not X1'd in chat yet for the whole line of 12 or 18 milligram of the entire deep cuts line, you might want to do so, because that stuff is fantastic. Especially in high nick, you do not want to miss out on the opportunity to do that. So definitely do that. And then, see, Tuna's just going nuts.
Right on it.
Tuna knows what he's doing, so he's good. So what was my next question? Let's see. See, there we go. People are starting. There we go. People are being active now. Thank you very much. Steven Arena is like my biggest. Steven, if you just send me a message, I owe you. The guy's been, from day one, he's been such a support. It's amazing. Awesome. Finally, okay, we got the X1 coming in now, which is nice. Okay, so let's see.
Wave.
I had a brain fart all of a sudden. Holy crap. Okay, so what made you, like, after you started the VinylandVapor page, what made you get into the more advocacy side of things?
Wait. Oh, you froze for a second. So the wind
Good?
blew.
We good
No,
now?
you froze. Now you're back.
Okay. So
But
what made you use your page more for more like advocacy side of stuff? I know you, because there's a lot of stuff that because I know you're an artist. We've all seen your work and everything. So how long were you an artist for? When did you start getting into actually like, because I know you're a big drawer and everything. So you started drawing from a young age, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I've always done it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get really like the whole catalyst for everything was when I got sober. So I had always done it, but I didn't get serious about anything until I quit drinking, and then everything was like full on compulsion. So I created more work in the last 6 years than I did in the previous.
Well, yeah, because you're using a lot of your work to incorporate into the advocacy of that side of vaping, which it's the creativity behind it is great, because the way you word things when you put those pictures out, it kind of gives people a different aspect of looking at things, which is a great thing. It's awesome. Kind of just gives people something to like, okay, because how many reposts I see from your stuff is crazy. How many people
It's pretty amazing, actually. I mean,
there's people out there who get inspired by the work you do.
Well, I just feel like if it's engaging and it's in a way that's, I mean, we can say the same things over and over and over again, but if it's somewhat interesting, or like, Instagram is a image platform, so people are going to skip over the text. They're going to, if you can kind of like get your point across and make it something interesting to look at.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the motivation behind it, and really it all just started because I was just pissed. I never got it. I mean, it's been a long time. I've been like trying to be involved, and I was just out of anger. I'm like, how? What's one thing that I was able to do to help me quit smoking? And my lungs are clear. I just ran 18 miles. Like, my doctor says that my breathing, and I haven't gotten a cold. I have this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, why the fuck are you throwing a hand grenade in it? It doesn't make any sense.
With everything that's going on right now, it doesn't make sense. It's frustrating. It's angering. It's like, for me personally, I've gotten to the point now where it's like trying to like be nice about it anymore. It's hard. It's really hard trying to, like, when people are telling you all these stuff that they see on the news and everything. It's like, when most of the community goes by it's on the news, and it's pretty much truth. And it's just something that frustrates me. It's like, you got all the people who refuse to go out there and look at science. Because my point of view is, okay, so, because I was explaining this on Wednesday when me and Sean were talking about it, and I kind of got a little ragey. But that happens when you talk about advocacy sometimes, because you get frustrated and your emotions get the best of you sometimes. So what I was explaining was, there's two, like how I was saying there, when you're seeing these news articles that come out there and they're explaining one end to it, saying how bad it is, but there's always two sides to one coin, obviously. So when somebody's going out there and explaining one side of it, me as a human being wants to know and try to research the other side of it so I can know both sides. Because as somebody who would try to want to learn knowledge as much as they can from different things in the world, you want to know both sides of something before you can actually talk about it and kind of have a full stance on it.
Yeah.
Because you want to know what you're talking about. You just don't want to go off to what the news says. And yes, Anthony, I know it wasn't a little ragey. It was very ragey, okay?
I gotta go back and watch it freak out.
Yeah, it happens. I was getting frustrated. And so I let the emotions get the best of me, but sometimes you have to let that happen sometimes, because that's what happens. So, yeah. It's just like, so when you started your VinylandVapor page and you started getting more advocacy side of things, and like you saw people starting to repost all your stuff, did it like inspire you to want to continue to do it? Did you like, how did you, like, what went through your mind when you saw this happening, and you're like, did it give you the motivation to keep doing it, or even though with all the stuff that's going on right now, it's just frustrating that nothing? It seems like we're fighting against an immovable object.
I mean, well, the thing is, my inspiration, I mean, to do it from the get-go was based out of just frustration. You know what I mean? And I was going to say what I was going to say anyway. The response, whether you get it or not, I figured, shit, it's a platform. Why not talk about it? I think it really kind of hit home was when I was doing the shops when the 816 stuff, and I would go help people.
That picture when you were sitting outside the shop with the sign.
Yeah. That was just out of pure, because I was not at that point. I was kind of into it, and I was going to all these places, and nobody knew what the hell was going on, and employees were frustrated because they're there and they're trying to help people, and they're being told they're not, so their hands are tied, and it made an impact. I mean, it's but sometimes it just feels like you're screaming into the wind. You know what I mean? You can't, people don't care outside of it. They don't care. That's why they're not really investigating, because a lot of them don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Or they just don't, or they're lazy. We know the people who matter as far as the industry concerned know. I mean, it's really about changing public opinion. And until you can get larger entities on board, or until you can back it with real publicity, which is always been we can sue everybody, you can get lawyers, you can get lobbyists, but until you get ad space on major television stations, there's really no way to
look at what the Truth Campaign's doing. They're
right.
spending the money.
You can do that. You can hire a PR firm and pay it. It's you can't really make any noise. Once people see it, well, they're sitting home watching,
like MTV or something, I saw it on USA Network when literally every other commercial was that damn puppet Truth Campaign bullshit, and I literally wanted to throw something at my TV because it's just so absurd that it's how can these people actually put this on national television?
They have so much money behind them, and really, those are paid campaigns. They got a marketing, Madison Avenue marketing firm. They have lobby money behind them. They have, politicians in their pocket, and that's what it takes. It takes money to counter it, or you just talk to people. I talk to so many people all the time, every day, that don't know. I had a conversation at a grocery store the other day. Someone that I ran into when I used to bartend, this woman, she was telling her daughter vapes, and now she's freaking out about it. Her daughter's 21 years old. And I had to explain to her everything, and you always have that moment where they're like, oh, really? Because really nobody trusts the media at this point. I mean, for the most part.
Yeah, because they know all this stuff's bullshit, and it's it sucks when you have to go out and research your own stuff when the actual media should be giving you the appropriate news on what's actually going on in the correct way. It's to the point, in a perfect world, you shouldn't need to go out and research something to see if the actual media is telling you the correct thing. In a perfect world, you shouldn't need to do that. The media should be coming at you with the correct knowledge, correct news, correct studies, correct everything, to where you're getting the information that you need to know, and that's that.
It hasn't been like that in 50 years. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's ever been like that ever, because there's always people trying to up their own agenda, and people that are taking money to say one thing and then money for making research that might lead to one direction. It's all kinds of fucked up. That's how the world's been ever since I can remember. My whole life, the world's been like that.
So, I've been burnt out lately. I haven't been producing that kind of content. There's a lot of, I've seen a lot of involvement, which is great, which, 4 years ago, it felt
it would have been nice to see. 4 years
ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago, I felt like I was the only one saying anything, and now everyone's saying everything. It's okay, well, it's out there. I mean, I wasn't the only one, but, I just felt like it was less.
It's like most of the vape community, I'm not saying anybody in chat is like this, but most of the vape community don't get off their asses and do something until our backs are against the wall to where something major is going to change and we have to say something now, otherwise nothing's going to happen. Or something's going to happen that's going to detrimentally impact this industry. And that's what sucks, because if everybody out there would have been as active as they are now 4 years ago when this August 8th thing happened, I could probably guarantee you, or I can't say guarantee, but I bet you things would be a little bit different than they are now.
Maybe. I mean,
because there's always that.
It's a big. You know, you're up against a lot. Mm-hmm. The powers that are, that want it gone are like monumental, but it doesn't mean that you can't make a difference. I mean, you make enough noise and you can not be noticed. They're saying Twitter is a battlefield. It's fucking. It's so hard for me to go over there.
It's crazy. I give props to like Logan Exhales and Dan OhmMyLanta, who are going over there and fighting against this stuff. It's because people think that these people are active on Instagram and all that stuff, and like Facebook and all that stuff. These people aren't active like that. The main outlook these representatives and these legislators are going to be active on is their Twitter account.
Sure.
So and like all these parents are stuff being like the parents against vapes or whatever freaking it's called, against tobacco, free kids or crap. All these people that are on there are on Twitter. So that's the correct output. I don't know if it's just Twitter's not for me. I'm going to try to keep my voice to the YouTube aspect because everybody uses YouTube. So hopefully that the shouting I do a little bit can reach out to some of those people. I'm hoping it gets to that point. But you never know. If I can inform other vapors that aren't doing anything to do more, then I think I've done the right thing.
Yeah.
So it's... As a quick aside, I don't think we ever talked about this yet, but I think you've talked about it on the Green Room a little bit. What made you get into making your own liquid?
Just excitement, curiosity.
Excitement and wanting to do your own
thing?
Yeah,
like I said, when there was, a few months after getting that Hanger Tech, I started ordering concentrates and just mixing stuff at home. And these flavors are from 2014, 2015, like in my e-liquid calculator database thing.
Yeah. So what got you to the point to where you're sitting there like, I'm going to make a business out of this? Like, what was that turning point for you to where you made that decision for yourself to make this a job?
I hated my job. I hated my job, and I put so much energy into it, you know what I mean? I put a lot into it. And I didn't expect, I could have done, I could have released them in 2013. I don't know. I just I was like, you know what? Let me take a gamble.
Well, that's all it is, because when you're because the thing about making your own liquid is obviously everything's perspective, everything's object. Somebody can like this liquid and then somebody else can say it sucks. That's how crazy the e-liquid industry is, to where everything is subjective. Everything is just so narrowed down to where somebody tastes one thing, somebody tastes the other. But that's why I feel like if being a mod maker, it's a lot easier, because you're always going to find that niche group of people who are going to enjoy that kind of product you're making. But then you're going to get to the e-liquid manufacturer you really aren't going to be successful until you know you're doing it right and get to the point where you can make a product that will come out there and a lot of people will enjoy. It's just like the mod industry. A big niche group of people will get into it, and that's what I feel like has happened to your brand. Everything, you're taking the risk of thinking maybe, okay, I'm going to make some liquids that I enjoy, that you enjoy making yourself, and you're going to take that risk saying, I feel like others would enjoy this, and it's probably the response that you've gotten from it. Was it anything like you've ever expected it would be?
I mean, it's modest. I mean, it's not business is modest, which is fine. I didn't know if I would sell 5 bottles or if it would sell 500,000. It's closer to 5, but I also just want to give back and make something. you know, because the fact of the matter is the community has been good to me in just an abstract sense. Like, I've made a shit ton of friends. I've formed some really fantastic relationships. You know, it helped me quit smoking. It gave me a platform to say stupid shit and post pictures, and people responded to. Like, it's been good to me, and I'm grateful for it, and I love it because of that. You know what I mean? I've never been into the drama and the punching and the yelling on Facebook and all that kind of shit. Like, I like to stay neutral and, you know, not be a dick to people. And I put my face on the fucking bottle, like, and it's not about like because I like my face. I mean, it's tongue in cheek. But if I don't stand by it, you know, like there's no one else.
By your product, you're putting your face on your product because it's something you stand behind, and you're gonna fully back your own product, and it shows wonders. I mean, you get to the point to where you're able to go into other countries, and people in other countries want to sell your product. That's where I would feel like, okay, my name's out there enough to where people trust the product I'm going to come out with, and it has to be a great feeling. That's because anything that you put out there that people compliment and respect, that can be more complimentary and like more satisfying than any amount of money you can ever have.
You saying it is like sometimes I'm so involved, like I'm involved in, because it's just me. Like hearing it from someone else, like sometimes I don't step away from it because I'm like in the middle of it. So you're like in the middle of a tornado, and you like step away from it. You're like, oh shit. So I don't look at it. It's hard for me to like.
It's hard to look at it from the outside looking in when you're in the
right. There are moments where I'm like, holy shit. Like, you know, the Deep Cuts liquid page is just hand checks of other people's stuff. Like I'm not like hiring promoters or, you know, paying photographers. It's just people enjoying it, which makes me so fucking happy. You know what I mean? Like just people like, so I'm assuming they like it. I mean, if they're willing to take a picture of it or whatever, like the gratitude, like anything, like the fact that I'm able to do it and somewhat sustain it is just like the gratitude and is incredible. And I don't take any of it for granted, and I'm extremely grateful. Every bottle, you know, I write until I'm unable to do it, but I try and write a handwritten note every bottle I send out retail. Definitely. But it means a fucking lot to me. Like I can't well,
because it's like people know that the passion you put into it is beyond so many others, and to where a lot of people can like it more because you're helping somebody. That's why I do it. I supporting somebody like you and supporting something like Warlock Mods, Mark and Amy Clough. It's like, to me, it's still kind of like supporting local business, because these people are making a living off their product. Their product is helping them put food on the table. How would you not want to support something like that? Instead of going through like a mass like Giant Vapes. I like Giant Vapes. I like what they do. I like their selection.
Of course.
But you would go through somebody who's going out there and actually doing this themselves, putting the work in themselves just to make a living for their family.
Yeah.
And that's something satisfying on the buyer's end as well, because you know the money you're putting out for somebody's product is helping them make a living.
I think just supporting small business. You know, there's a lot of liquid companies out there, and there are a lot of big companies, but like you know, probably with Mark, like nobody's answering the phone. Like if there's a fucking problem and I sent you the wrong bottle, like I'm the only one to talk to. You know what I mean? Like someone's like, oh, you sent me a 6 instead of a 3. So I feel like people can get behind. They do get behind a brand where there's like an individual or people that are like accessible to, you know, running the business. They're more willing to kind of like, yeah, I'll try this stuff. If you don't have to like it, you know, I mean, I know that people might not like it, and some flavors aren't for everybody. And, you know, I like them all. I vape them all, but the response has been fantastic.
Wow, and when you released the peanut butter party, the PB party at North Raleigh, you released it at Raleigh, and didn't it sell out the first day?
Well, totally the next day.
Okay.
But I mean, it sold out before the show was over. I mean, the response to that has been great, and this one's like I'm super passionate about, because love peanut butter.
Yeah.
And there are peanut butters out there, but I wanted mine to be. I'm just happy with the response because there hasn't been many negative reviews, if any. Someone said it didn't. It didn't. It's like something. I don't know, but it's what it is. I mean, it's moving.
That's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this right now? Since the whole me doing the beginning of the show, doing the hi Nick thing wasn't working so well, everybody in chat right now, just X1 in chat. Spam X1 in chat right now. We're going to pick 2 winners right now to where you have the chance to win high milligram, whole line of deep cuts, and then the other winner will have the opportunity to win the entire of either a 3, 6, 0, whatever you vape. It's your option. So...
We'll do either way. Let's just do 2. If nobody wants to, well, no, okay, we'll do the high neck and the.
Yeah, I want to promote your high neck because it's new. And I want people to know it's out there. So one of them is going to be for the high neck line because I know a lot of people still use their little pod devices. So I want to see the whole chat fill up with X1s right now. There's 18 people in here right now. If you guys are too lazy to go and chat and an X1, then hey, that's your loss. X1 in chat right now. We're going to be. How about I'll pick a winner and then Erik will pick a winner.
Oh, that's hard.
So it would be one of those things to where you just close your eyes and stick your finger on the screen and see whoever it comes out to. And okay, X1s are coming in right now. Awesome.
You're going to do like 3 at a time.
Right? Whatever works, man. Okay. Give it like another minute and a half. Actually, more like 30 seconds. Too much time for these people. Let's see. Are we going to... Let's say stop now. So, put in your last X1s. Start coming into an end here. We're going to start picking through this giant group of X1s that are in here right now. So, let's see. Everybody's still typing. Let's see when it starts slowing down. It's not slowing down. Son of a bitch.
Am I not supposed to look?
Breathe, people. You're gonna pull out the bat, Erik. We're gonna need some cracking down happening right now. If you guys don't stop X1, and Erik's gonna come over there with a giant baseball bat and whoop some booty.
Louisville.
That thing's massive. Is that made of wood? Let's like. I feel like is it hollow? It feels like it's hollow.
It's not hollow, but it might be like a oh. Yeah, it's wood, but it's not like a real. Oh no, you know what? I think there's some foam in here. No, that's not what it is.
Okay, so we're gonna go through right now. I'm gonna pick the first winner right now. So I'm gonna go through. Oh, god damn it, stupid chat. Hold on. I'm gonna go through to like a big group of X1s. Okay, stop right here. I'm gonna close my eyes, and then boom. Q80 Vapes is the first recipient of your choice of either the high nick, or if you want, could be either 3 milligram, the entire deep cuts line. So Q80, put your choice in there. Either put your choice down so we can know which one it is.
I just did the same thing.
So who'd you pick?
Raven Shadow.
Raven Shadow Vapes is the second winner. So let's see. Now the real question: who's going to come up with their choice first?
Uh-oh.
Now it's the race against the clock. I feel like what music is that? I don't even know what music that is. Let's see. Who is going to be? Yeah, like I don't know what game show is that from. I'm having a brain fart on that.
Jeopardy.
Jeopardy. Okay. See, I don't watch game shows. Okay, so Q80 is picking the high nick, so he wins the entire line of the what? Give Erik a DM on Instagram. Let him know either 12 or 18 milligram you'd like, and you'll take care of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Raven Shadow, she will get the freebase. I believe. Let Erik know if it's either a 6, 3, 0, whatever you choose. He'll take care of you as well. So both of you, thank you for participating. And thank you for Erik for donating his fantastic liquid to all you guys out there in chat right now. I think we're gonna wind it down a little bit I know Eric's probably got some stuff. He's probably holding the bat up to me because he's like, "You're holding me up for too much time. I'm gonna have to whoop you."
It's actually been nice. I've been trying to go. I'm going to California this week.
Oh yeah, you're going to ECC.
I ran out of inventory. I needed to get stuff out there. Otherwise, well, you know, I'm doing a booth with Vapix with Phil.
Okay. So if anybody's gonna be at ECC, make sure to go over to the Vapix booth and pick up some deep cuts in the process. You got to give James a big hug for me when you see him out there. James, Danny Castle, and I believe. Wow, it's James, Danny right now. I think DC Rackley's gonna be out there too, friend of ours from Discord.
Yeah, I know all of them.
So give them all of them a big hug for me. I miss all of them. I haven't seen them since last ECC. Well, no, I saw James and Danny at MVE in March, but because last ECC I was actually out there.
Did I? Oh, wait, in March I did see him.
Yeah, because I was out at ECC last year and it was a blast. It was probably that was the first big expo I went to, and it was awesome. Like I got to get to know Stan and all of them more. So, in my first time meeting James, of course, he's like a brother to me. So, make sure to give all them big hugs for me because I missed the hell out of all of them.
I'll lift them off the ground.
Thank you. I need picture proof of this. So,
you'll have it.
Okay, I'm holding.
I'm gonna put Danny on my shoulders.
But Danny needs to be on everybody's shoulders. He's gonna probably be on Vapix shoulders too. Good.
It's gonna be fun. I've been to the last, I think,
if you see Chuck there too, make sure to if you see NorCal there, I want you to do something for me. Take whatever mod he has in his hands, take it from him, and throw it across the expo center. Just tell him Poon Sauce told you to do it. He'll understand.
Okay.
Because you know the story from last ECC.
I don't want to scrap with Chuck.
No, do you know the story from last ECC when I made his rage go flying 30 feet?
I don't think so.
Well, when the rage just came out, obviously, he had a rage with them, and so I saw him. I forgot what part of the room we were in, and we saw each other from a distance, and it was kind of, in my head, it was more of like the slow running, like the Baywatch kind of style, running on the beach to each other.
Yeah.
And then when I was trying to hug him, my hand hit his hand that was holding his mod, and the mod went whee, flying like 30 feet, skid across the ground, went under a booth. And so, batteries everywhere, hit off a wall. You see the pictures he posted of that the tarnished pink rage he had?
Yep,
that was my work.
I think the embrace was slow motion for both of you, but the mod flying was slow motion for him. Everything went fast motion for you, but he watched his mod go flying. And whenever you drop a mod, it always goes slow motion. I got that Vindicator from Danny, actually. And I was mint condition. I never dropped it. I carried it around like this, and I had it in my pocket.
Had it like a cradle.
And I leaned over, and it came out of my jacket pocket, and I watched it but I caught it.
I forgot who. Oh, it was Sammy Nitro. He's one of our Canadian buddies. He had a Dragon mod from Canada on his roof of his car. He put it down. It fell. Nothing ever. I think it was one thing. It was a little crack of a little ding on the bottom of the mod, but it actually cracked the concrete. Like a chunk of the concrete came out. So I thought that was something awesome where you're going to get a mod that you drop in. It's actually going to do more damage to the thing that it actually falls on than the actual mod itself. You have a good product.
That's why I can't have nice things. Because everything hits the ground.
So on that note, guys, I think we're going to call it here. I'd like to thank everybody in chat for hanging out with us. I'd like to thank Erik again for donating his time and some of his liquid to some of the faithful viewers of this channel. So thank you again for that, sir.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. Anytime. So I'd like to thank everybody in chat, and we'll see you on Wednesday for another What's in the News. So we'll take it easy, everybody.
That wasn't bad.
Hold on, guys. Stop stream. Oh.